So you have a great business idea, but you don't know if it will be profitable. Without having to spend loads of time researching or spending any money, the Roff Milling Net Profit Calculator lets you crunch some numbers. From raw material cost to the packaging, we've got you covered. In this video, I'll take you through each individual step, and it takes less than 5 minutes. So let's get started. The first option is to select the currency in which you want the results. Your options are US dollar or South African rand. I'm going to select US dollar. Do you want a clear picture of your milling operations? Get detailed reports that aren't just informative, but can also help secure funding or pen down a perfect business plan. Just drop in your contact details and we'll send it right over. Please note that although we aim to give you up-to-date and accurate information, this video and tool should not be considered as financial advice. So read the terms of usage and agree to it before we can continue. Now we get to step 1, milling capacity and main inputs. The first option is to select your milling capacity. In other words, how much maize would you like to mill per month? This is not the same as your output capacity, but I will explain this more when we talk about extraction rates. Roff offers a variety of mills with different capacities for each market. For this example, I'll select 1450 based on the Roff R40, a 2 to 3 ton per hour mill. This is the estimated capacity that you will be able to achieve if you choose this specific mill. The next 3 inputs are the sales price of maize meal per ton. In other words, what you will be selling your maize meal for, ex-factory or wholesale price. Then, what's the cost of maize per ton, your raw materials. And if you buy maize in bags, you need to convert it into tons. And lastly, what's the sales price of bran per ton, the byproduct of the milling process that is mainly used to produce animal feed. Every country or market is different, and we're not only referring to the obvious differences like the cost of maize or electricity, but also to consumer preferences in maize meal. Please confirm and change the prices in the fields that are relevant to your market. Try to be conservative with these values and rather use the average price throughout the year. For example, if you look at prices during or after the harvest season, it would most probably be in the low range, as there is plenty of supply. And the exact opposite is normally true before harvest time, with prices in the high ranges. Many of our customers use this tool to calculate their break-even point, to help them calculate a competitive sales price on a regular basis. Now let's talk about extraction rates. Extraction rate is a percentage of how much maize meal or end product can be extracted from maize. The higher you can push this value, the more profitable you will be, as you will have less lower value product and more maize meal. But if you push this too far, you'll risk impacting your product quality and losing your customers. Above the slider is an extraction rate table, which you can use as a reference for your market. For instance, in the Zambian market, breakfast is the most popular product, and 73% is a very conservative percentage. Want to be a master at maintaining excellent extraction rates? Find all the secrets on our resources page, linked in the description below. As you can see, if I make a small change here, it makes a big difference to the profit value. This value is calculated in real time as you make changes to the inputs in the calculator. When picking a maize mill, ensure that you use a supplier with a reputation to obtain high extraction rates in your market. Financing and funding is next. Will you be financing the mill? If not, take note of the estimated capital required for the milling equipment, the maize stock that you would need for a month's worth of production, as well as the debtor value for that same time period. We calculate it automatically for you. The other capital amount includes items like vehicles, silos, or computers. If you will be storing your maize in bags instead of silos, this amount can be reduced accordingly. If you will be financing the mill, select yes, and you will see immediately how it affects your possible net profit. We calculate this based on the interest in the interest slider. So make sure that you select an interest rate that you would be able to achieve from your funding partners. We calculate the interest that you would need to pay each month and we deduct that from your possible net profit. If you're satisfied, continue and click next. Now we get to step 3, fixed expenses per month. The first option is maize meal bag size in kilograms. Choose the most popular bag size that you will be using. The bigger the bag size, the less bags you will need to use, increasing your profit. But do some research on the most popular sizes in your market. If you do change the bag size, make sure that you change the price per bag as well for accuracy. For this example, let's use 10 kg as it's quite popular in this market. What types of bags and sizes are popular in your area? Please share it with us in the comments below. We also need to enter the cost of electricity. The power consumption mentioned here is based on the R40 mill we selected. We also include the maintenance cost per ton, also based on Roff mills. This is a good estimate, so you can keep it as is. The cost of vitamins that need to be added to your maize meal is also included, since it's compulsory in most markets. Insurance is calculated automatically for you, and we give you an estimate for marketing, the rent if you don't own the premises, telephone and postage, your water and property taxes, and finally stationery. If you're happy with these figures, click next. Now we get to the last section, step 4, salaries per month. Your mill manager, sales rep and financial clerk are key personnel, so don't under budget here and ensure that you employ skilled people. The number of unskilled workers is dependent on a few factors. If you will be using bags to store your maize, you will need more people to ensure that your mill receives a constant flow of raw material. If you will be storing it in silos and using conveyors, you would need fewer people. You also need workers to package the maize meal into bags. To be safe, 7 per shift should be more than enough to start with. To maximize the return on your investment and get the most out of your milling equipment, mills like the Roff R40 2 to 3 ton per hour mill can be operated very close to 24/7, allowing us to achieve the 1,450 tons per month in 3 shifts, meaning a total of 21 unskilled workers. And that brings us to the end of this form. The last step is to click on the calculate and email me the results button. Within a few minutes, you should receive an email containing 2 reports in your inbox. Double check your junk folder if you don't receive it. The first report is just a summary of all the figures that we've looked at. The detailed report contains a lot of information. Go through it, and if there are any figures that you would like to change, simply come back to the calculator and go through it again. You can do it as many times as you like. After you've clicked on the calculate button, we'll take you through to the contact us page. Fill in your details here and we'll get a sales consultant to reach out to you and take you through to the next step. We trust that this information will help guide you in your maize milling journey. With over 30 years in the industry, Roff has helped thousands achieve success. Found this video helpful? We've got more coming your way. Like, subscribe and hit that notification bell. And don't forget to let us know what topics you would like to see next.
Roff Milling. Machines that drive success.